learners, I am Abdus Salam, lecturer in English, Hossainpur Govt.college, Hossainpur Kishoreganj. It seems to me that the great Almighty Allah has bestowed His favors upon both you and us, and for this reason, despite coronavirus, we are still alive in this world, and we the teachers are taking online classes, and you the learners are attending the classes for the betterment of your studies. However, in the previous class, I told you to take a lesson from English 1. Today we shall discuss Unit 5 and a lesson 2. I think all the students have brought the textbook. Please open at page 59. There you will find the lesson. Lesson 2 is about eating habit and hazards. To speak the truth, good health depends on eating habits. If a man follows the rules of health, if a man eats a balanced diet moderately and timely, he may not suffer from any kinds of diseases. Balanced diet means such kind of diet which contains all the elements necessary for a human body. On the other hand, if a man does not follow the rules of health, if a man is unable to select proper food from many food items, if a man eats voraciously, excessively and untimely, he may suffer from different kinds of diseases that may take away his life. In this lesson, you will find a short story named The Luncheon. Let us start the story, The Luncheon. The Luncheon by William Somerset Maugham. Before starting the story, I think we should know something about the writer. William Somerset Maugham was born on 25th of January 1874 and he died on 16th December 1965. He is considered as one of the most popular writers in his era. He received education from King's School, Canterbury, and afterwards he practiced medicine in St. Thomas's Medical Hospital School, and then he received degrees from Heidelberg University, France. Though he practiced medicine, he did not like these occupations. Another members, his father, not only his father, but other members of his family were lawyers, but he did not like that occupation also. He took his occupation as a writer. His novel, Liza of Lambeth, made him very popular. He married a wife named Shiri Welcome, and they had only one daughter named Mary Elizabeth. This is the brief history about William Somerset Maugham. Let us start the story, The Luncheon. The short story, you have to know about short story also. The short story is such kind of story that can be read in a single sitting. One may finish the short story within an hour. It is generally written from 2000 words to 5000 words. We are going to start the story. I caught sight of her at the play, and in answer to her beckoning, I went over during the interval and sat down beside her. It was long since I had last seen her, and if someone had not mentioned her name, I hardly think I would have recognized her. She addressed me brightly. These three sentences were told by the young writer. Just the young writer is going to start the story, what happened in the past. Once the young writer was enjoying a play, at that time many people were enjoying the play. Amongst them, there was a lady. She was also enjoying the play. All on a sudden, the lady beckoned the young writer. But the young writer could not recognize the lady. When another person told the name of the lady guest, then he could recognize the lady and sat down beside her at the time of interval. And the lady guest received him very cordially, lively, and cheerfully. While it is many years since we first met, how time does fly. We are none of us getting any younger. Do you remember the first time I saw you? You asked me to luncheon. These sentences were uttered by the lady guest. Through these lines, we can understand that the lady guest was reminding the incident that happened in the past. And he also told, she also told the writer that time flies very quickly and they were becoming very old. She also asked another question to the young writer that if he could remember the incident that happened in the past. Did I remember? It was told by the young writer. The young writer the young writer was trying to remember the incident, and at last he remembered everything. And this is going to be delineated in the next page. It was 20 years ago, and I was living in Paris. I had a tiny apartment in the Latin quarters, overlooking a cemetery. And I was earning barely enough money to keep body and soul together. Through these lines, we can clearly understand that what happened 20 years ago. The writer was going to describe the incident that happened 20 years ago. 20 years ago, the young writer was living in Paris, and he rented a very small apartment because his income was very small. He did not earn much. He could somehow maintain his families. It means he could somehow maintain himself. He earned such an amount of money without which a man cannot exist in this world, or a man cannot live in this world. She had read a book of mine and had written to me about it. I answered thanking her, and presently I received from her another letter saying that she was passing through Paris and would like to have a chat with me. But her time was very limited, and the only free moment she had was on the following Thursday. Through these lines, we can notice that the one lady guest sent a letter to the young writer praising one of his books. When the writer was earning a very small amount of money, when he was busy in writing. Generally, when a person is praised, then he is flattered. The young writer was completely new in the world of writing. That is why he wanted to get praise, wanted to have praise from any corner. When the lady guest sent a letter praising one of his books, he was inspired. Then he sent another letter to the lady guest thanking her. But within a very short time, he received another letter from the lady guest that she was passing through Paris and she would like to have a chat with the writer. She would like to meet the writer. She would like to meet the writer. But her time was very limited and she had the only free moment, and that was the following Thursday. She was spending the morning in Luxembourg, and would I give her a little luncheon at Poets afterwards. And in the second letter, we see that the lady guest demanded luncheon. She also told the young writer that she was spending the morning in Luxembourg, and if the writer would entertain the lady guest with a lunch at Poets afterwards. Poets is a restaurant at which the French senators eat, and it was so far beyond my means that I had never even thought of going there. Through this, we can understand the description about Poets. What kind of restaurant Poets is? Poets is such kind of restaurant at which only the rich people, French senators eat there, like another people also who are very aristocratic, pompous, or who are very rich persons, moneyed persons, who are VIPs in the society, they can they can go there. They have entrance in such kind of restaurants, and a poor man like the young writer can never think of going there because his income was very small. This kinds of restaurant may be compared with the restaurant of our country like Sonargaon, because at Sonargaon, generally the common people or the laity can never think of going there because it is very costly and expensive. So it was the case of the young writer also, because the young writer's income was very limited or very meager. That is why he never thought of going to Poets. But I was flattered, and I was too young to have learned to say no to a woman. It is common that the young writer will be flattered because he was completely new in the world of writing. Just he started writing. At that moment, when the lady guest sent a letter praising one of his books, he was generally flattered. And in age, the young writer was so young that he could not refuse the proposal of the lady guest. I had 80 francs, gold francs, to last me the rest of the month, and a modest luncheon should not cost me more than 15. If I cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, I would manage well enough. Through this line, we can understand that the young writer decided to entertain the lady guest, and we see that the young writer had only 80 francs, gold francs, to maintain the rest of the month, and he thought that if a modest luncheon might cost only 15 francs, and if he could cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, it means if he did not take coffee for the next 2 weeks, then he would be able to entertain the lady guest, and it was his decision. I answered that I would meet my friends by correspondence at Foyers on Thursday at 12:30. Then we see that the young writer agreed and sent a letter to the lady guest that he would entertain her at Foyers on 12:30. And we also noticed that the young writer addressed the lady in the letter as friends, though he did not see the lady guest. But afterwards, we shall notice that when the writer will notice the lady guest, then he will be disheartened. So that is why, without seeing one's face or visage, a man or any person should not, or any boy or girl should not select a friend, because after seeing the face, generally it may be broken or he may be disheartened. She was not so young as I expected, and in appearance imposing rather than attractive. She was in fact a woman of 40. Through this line, we can clearly understand that the young writer is going to describe the physical characteristics of the lady guest, because the young writer did not want such kind of lady who will be 40 years old. That is why when the writer saw the lady guest at first sight, he was frustrated or he was baffled, because she was in fact a woman of 40. Because a woman of 40 years generally is unattractive, and she was dominating also, and that is why the writer was disheartened and frightened to see the visage or see the face of the lady guest. And she gave me the impression of having more teeth, white, large, and even they were necessary for any practical purpose. The writer also described about the teeth of the lady guest. The teeth of the lady guests were white, large, and even. They were necessary for any practical purpose, because a woman of 40 years whose teeth are very white, large, and even cannot inspire anything, because these kinds of ladies were not generally liked by the people. That is why they cannot maintain anything, and they cannot fulfill their desire. They cannot materialize any plan, any purpose, or any purpose cannot be materialized by such kind of lady. She was talkative, but since she seemed inclined to talk about me, I was prepared to be an attentive listener. Generally, if a man or if your classmate always tells you that you are very good, you are very well, if he or she always praises you, generally you will be interested in him or her, though you do not like him or her. It was the case of the writer. We noticed that the young writer did not like the lady guest, but when the lady guest always inspired the young writer, always praised his books, then the young writer was interested to listen to his discourse, listen to his speeches that were told by the lady guest. This is the text in short. Let us discuss few questions from this text. From the first text, you have to answer one question, and in question number 1, you will find two parts, A and B. In A, choose the correct answer from the alternatives. It means here you will find two questions or two statements. It means generally totally five statements and questions will be noticed in the question paper. 5 questions or 5 statements, or maybe the mixture of question or statement. And from one, you have to select the one answer, because 4 answers will be shown in the question paper. Which is the similar word of remember in the text? Remind, repeat, reform, and recollect. From these 4 answers, 3 answers are incorrect and 1 answer is correct. You have to select just one answer from these 4. Remind, repeat, reform, recollect. You know the meanings of 4 words. That is why remember what may be the correct answer. Here, recollect is the correct answer here. Recollect meaning remember. Recollect meaning remember. Number B. What is the meaning of the word inclined in the text? Inclined, you know. Interested maybe, eager maybe. Here I have written 4 answers. 3 are incorrect, 1 is correct. Reluctant, enthusiastic, cryptic, and obscure. Reluctant, you know. Reluctant meaning unwilling or averse. Unwilling or averse. Reluctant. But another word, enthusiastic meaning eager, interested, willing, etc. Cryptic, mysterious, and obscure meaning dark. What may be the possible answer or correct answer? You think the correct answer may be enthusiastic. Enthusiastic meaning eager or willing, interested, etc. So the correct answer will be, it is a question, correct answer will be enthusiastic. Inclined, correct answer enthusiastic. Number C. The word cemetery refers to cemetery. That was shown from the writer's attic, the writer's house or writer's apartment. Cemetery. Here I have written 4 answers: bury, graveyard, defunct, and hinder. Please think better for selecting the answer. Bury, graveyard, defunct, and hinder. Remember that at the time of selecting the answer, if the question is verb, the answer will be also verb. If the question is noun, the answer will be also noun. Cemetery, the word cemetery, we know it is noun. That is why at the time of selecting the answer, you have to select such word which is noun. Bury, it is verb. Bury, it is verb. Graveyard, noun. Defunct, adjective, and hinder, verb. What may be the answer? Just you know it clearly now. The answer will be graveyard. The answer will be graveyard. So at the time of selecting answer, you have to use such word that is shown in the, that is written or that is found in the question paper. The answer is graveyard. Number D. What refers to the word purpose in the text? Purpose. Purpose meaning aim, target, etc. Here I have written 4 answers: indifferent, willing, objective, and proof. Generally, purpose, it is noun, and its answer will be also noun. Indifferent meaning careless. Willing, enthusiastic, eager, interested, etc. Objective, proof it is noun, and objective it is also noun. There are 2 nouns here. Just you are in confusion now. In the answer, there may be 4 nouns, 4 verbs, or another words. It means all the words may be same, but at that time you have to select the answer which is correct in meaning. Purpose meaning target, aim, and objective, here objective, its meaning is also aim. That is why the correct answer will be objective. Number E. In which letter did the lady guest demand luncheon? It has been clear at the time of delivering my lecture, because you know that in the second letter the lady demanded luncheon. In the first letter the lady guest only praised the book of the writer, praised about the book of the writer. But in the second letter she wanted to meet with the writer, she wanted to chat with the writer, and she wanted to have a lunch from the writer. That is why the correct answer will be in the second letter the lady guest demanded luncheon from the young writer. The correct answer will be the second letter. First letter, second letter, no letter, all letters. The correct answer will be second letter. In number B, answer the following questions. Here you have to answer the questions. 5 questions will be set, and from these 5 questions you have to write 5 answers, and for every answers you will be given 2 marks. It means totally you will be given 10 marks on 5 questions. What inspired the young writer to entertain the lady guest? What is your imagination about the answer? What inspired? The praise about his book and the inspiration or flattery of the lady guest may be the cause of entertaining the lady guest. What inspired the young writer to entertain the lady guest? The answer will be flattery of the young writer, flattery of the lady guest, and inspiration about his book, or praise about the book of the writer inspired the young writer to entertain the lady guest, or only praise about the book of the writer inspired him to entertain the lady guest. That will be the correct answer. Where did the lady guest beckon the young writer? Where? Its answer is also clear to you, because we know that not only the young writer but also the lady guest also, or many people, were enjoying the play. Where? It means at the play, and where did the lady guest beckon the young writer? It means the lady guest beckoned the young writer at the play. The correct answer will be the lady guest beckoned the young writer at the play, because they were enjoying the play. At the time of answering the question, you should remember that if it is in the past tense, generally at the time of making question, auxiliary verb is used. But when you will answer the question, then it will be omitted from the sentence, because you have to write the answer in an assertive sentence, not only in the interrogative sentence. Did. Generally, at the time of making question, did is used in the past infinite tense. But when you will answer the question, then did will be omitted, and you have to write the past form of the principal verb. That is why the answer will be the lady guest beckoned the young writer at the play. Where is poets located, or where is poets situated? Its answer is also known to you, because poets is located where? Poets is located in Paris, the capital of France. The correct answer will be poets is located in Paris, the capital of France. Number 4. How much money did the young writer earn? You know, how much money did the young writer earn? It means young writer earned a very small amount of money, because he could maintain himself somehow, because he could earn such amount of money without which a man cannot live in this world, cannot exist in this world. So the answer will be the young writer earned a very small amount of money. The young writer earned a very small amount of money. Number 5. Why didn't the writer think of going to poets? Why did the writer think of going to poets? And its answer is also known to you, because we know the condition of the young writer. The young writer's condition was not so good, because he earned a very small amount of money. He could not lead a luxurious life, of pompous life. That is why it might not be his imagination to go such kind of restaurant. So the answer will be the young writer did not think of going to poets because his income was very small. This is the answer of 5 questions. So we see that from the first text you have to answer on 15 marks, and if you can answer the questions correctly, then you will be given 15 marks. Question number A, you will be given 5 marks for answering 5 questions or statements, and number B, you have to answer 5 questions, and for this you will be given 10 marks. So we have already finished the text, and just from the first text we have discussed few questions. I think you will practice text staying at your home. No more today. Thank you very much.